That's not going live. You can drop your control and the microphone pops right out. Okay, let's try that again. Alright everyone, the GameUhEr here live, doing the first episode of the GameUhEr Talks To, and in this episode it's going to be talking to myself, because sometimes I need an expert opinion on things. As you can see, we're playing Gran Turismo Sport, the latest update, and we're going to go straight into Dragon Trail on the Premium Sports Lounge race. So this is going to be 10 laps around that track, and I'm going to be talking about random shit the entire time. As usual, usually my broadcasts are not safe for work with language, because I fucking swear a lot. So be prepared. Alright, now, you saw it was N1000 level cars, but I'm coming in here with an N400 level car, because I hate myself. No, actually, this car is tuned up pretty good, and I bring this into N1000 level events all the time because it can kick some ass against N1000 level cars. So, I'm playing a racing game today because, that's what I tend to do a lot of lately. Ah, crap, I love Ferrari. The Ferrari is in this race, so it's going to be a tough one. But just a couple of things. As you see, I've kind of been dead off of YouTube for a while, even if I'm over on my Twitch account. Just life has been things now. So, we're going to start doing this weekly. I'm going to do an episode next weekend and the weekend following with guests, so I'm not actually just talking to myself. And we're going to go from there to see how things go. And if you do have a PlayStation or an Xbox and want to be a guest, just let me know. Hook me up with me, and we'll find a game that we both have we can play and shoot the shit while we're doing it. Biggest thing going on right now for me is I've realized I'm less than 3 months away from turning 40, and the only shape I've ever been in my entire life is round. So I am starting to hit the gym now, 3 times a week, watching what I eat, and the pounds are starting to slowly fade away. That's the biggest news in my life, biggest changes for me. Finally getting realized to, yeah, you know what? Maybe being a fat bastard your entire life isn't the best thing in the world. So, going for that, going for just changing everything around. It's a three-stage process I'm going through right now. I've already, for the most part, quit drinking soda. I'll still drink seltzer water because I get the fizzy. I'm at the gym and watching what I eat now, which is stage 2. And stage 3 is I'm going to attempt to quit smoking. Again. I mean, come on, quitting smoking is the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I've done it 10 times. It's staying quit that's the problem. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how it goes with me trying to remember to do some more streams every now and then. Make sure that I am different games. I just got a new game on my Nintendo Switch the other day. I'd love to be able to stream, but Switch doesn't computer and be a capture card to be able to stream from my Switch, so that's my next big financial goal. Get a good computer, get a capture card, and be able to, oh crap, not run into walls like that. Be able to stream games from my Switch as well as my Xbox and PS4. Now, the capture card and computer would be great because then I wouldn't have to do everything live like I do now. I could actually pre-record, edit things. What the hell is my cat doing? Sorry, distracted by my cat attacking something and I don't know what it is. I'm not pausing the video to go see what the hell she's doing. A little bit off there. Gravel trap didn't slow me that out though. Alright. So that's the biggest news on me right now. I'd talk about current events, but current events just piss me off. And I will try to never do any political topics on here, because that will just raise the blood anger level. And we just don't want that. So I guess beyond that, let's talk a little bit about cars. I know enough to get by. So, yeah, no, I'm not going to talk about cars. I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. There's no one watching right now. No one can give me a topic. As you can see, I am driving a Porsche in-game. The type of car I'll never actually drive in real life, because most of the time the interior is just too small. And combined right now between my girth and my height, not easy for me to fit in one. If I was going to get some sort of super duper fancy schmancy car like this, I like the top end of the supercar before you get into the hypercars. I don't know. For some reason, I've always been a Lamborghini guy. I mean, like back when I was a kid, and it was between the Lamborghini Countach and the Ferrari F40. I thought they were both amazing cars, but for me, I was always drawn to the Lamborghini for some reason over the Ferrari. Now, looking back, they're both amazing cars, and I would drive both of them if I ever had the opportunity. But number one, so far in my life, the opportunity has not arisen. Number two, more than likely the opportunity will never arise. But that's all. I've still got a lot of life left, I hope. Maybe one day I'll be able to drive one of them. I'd much rather prefer those, the 80s supercars, to drive for fun. Because that was all about the driver while you were doing. There's none of the computerized tech stuff and everything nowadays. I mean, like you look at supercars and hypercars now, most of them these days are automatic, or at least semi-automatic transmission with the flappy paddle gearboxes on the steering wheel, and that's just something about that for a street car I don't think seems right. Now, granted, I've never driven one. I've never driven anything with a flappy paddle. So maybe if I ever drive with one, I'll change my tune. But until that point, I just don't like the thing. I'd much prefer having 3 pedals and a stick in front of me to be able to change my gears. And the majority of those, you don't even need to flap them. Majority of the modern stuff automatically just shifts. And yeah, in some cases that's great. Like, you can get better acceleration with that because the computer-aided shifting, it's instantaneous. It's not let go of the gas, hit the pedal, flip the switch, let go of the clutch, and hit the gas again. It's boom boom, boom boom. It's just insta-shift. So by using the flappy paddles, you're actually making it worse. As far as, well, I mean, it's better than release gas, press clutch, move stick, release clutch, press gas. But the fact of the matter is the computer-aided shifting will shift before you even think to hit one of those flappy paddles. So semi-automatic transmission, it's an automatic transmission, just gives you the feel like you have some control over what gear you're in. And that's one of the things, probably the only thing I don't like about the new C8 Corvette. The Corvette, as you may, if you know anything about cars or see anything about this, they've gone from a front-engine rear-wheel drive to a mid-engine rear wheel right into the fucking wall. Sorry, no, they haven't gone right into the wall. They've gone from a front-engine rear-wheel drive car, as they've always been, to a mid-engine rear-wheel drive car, which is more along the lines of what supercars and hypercars these days are. And some Chevy fans, some Corvette fans are very not pleased with that. Oh, fuck you, you Ferrari. Some Chevy fans and American sports car fans are not a fan of that, because American sports cars, American muscle cars have always been front-engine rear-wheel drive, and it's changing the tradition of what American cars are quote-unquote all about. Now, you see, I have no problem with that. Not that I'll... Oh, Ow. Sorry if you just popped in as I'm spinning there, and I'm also talking about the new Chevy Stingray, the C8 model. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with the car going to mid-engine rear wheel, because actually having the engine in the mid or rear helps put more downforce, helps put more weight on those back tires, give you more control compared to like front engine, where the engine, the heaviest weight of the car, is farthest away from the drive wheels. So I see no problem with the mid-engine rear-wheel drive layout of the new Chevy C8. The biggest problem I have with the C8 is the C8R. And no, not because the number 4 car is going to be silver. If you actually read the reason why they did that, to pay tribute to the classic Chevy race cars, like the original Stingray Racer, which was a silver. I have no problem with that. And they're keeping the number 3 car in the yellow, just changing the black to silver for the accents on it, again, for the tribute to the older cars. And the biggest problem I have is the sound. Now, granted, I haven't heard one in person yet, but the videos I'm seeing online and hearing the audio of the engine, it sounds like a big letdown from the C7R. For people who've never been to a live race or never will be to a live race, and granted, I've only been to one in my life, so I can't really talk for everyone. But to me, when I was at my live race last year at Lime Rock Park, the Chevys, the number 3 and number 4 car, were the best sounding engines as far as I was concerned. Very close was the Porsches, the number 911 and 912 cars. They had reminiscent of the old Mazda rotary engine sound. But the reason why the Chevys, the number 3 and the number 4 car, were the best sounding cars to me is it wasn't so much a sound as a guttural roar. It was more like I was feeling the sound the engine was producing rather than hearing it. It was just a great and amazing sound, feeling to watching those Chevys go by. And from all the videos and audio I've heard of the C8R, it loses that, and I'm not happy because also the Porsches are changing their engines next year, and they're not going to have the same amazing sound that they had last year. So I'm not happy, but I'll deal with it, and I'll crash into a wall again. At least oh shit, I was in first place. I wasn't even paying attention to that. No, I'm in second. Hitting the damn wall cost me a place. Almost 2, shit. Right, so. Yeah, the Chevy, the C8R looks amazing. Just when it's revving its engine, it sounds good, but it doesn't sound C7R. And yeah, I know it never was going to, but I can be slightly disappointed in that. Hopefully I'll be able to get to 2 races this season and be able to report on that earlier than July when I get to Lime Rock. But whatever. Or June when I get to Lime Rock. Whatever month it was. Either way. Definitely looks gorgeous, sounds good, but it doesn't sound great, is my take on the C8R. Now, the other big issue of IMSA next season is that Ford will no longer be a factory racing team in GTLM. Hopefully there'll be someone that's still running Ford cars. No, it's not a factory team. Still be running the GT40s, because those cars are just amazing to see. Not as good sounding-wise, but whatever. But, those guys are just amazing to see going around the track, and they've got potential to do better and better and better every year they're out there. But we'll see about that. And in the touring car division, Mazda is coming back with the Mazda 3 hatchback into the TCR division. So another manufacturer coming into the TCR and IMSA, so that's going to be a good thing. Now, I've talked enough about IMSA and Chevys and all that. Let's talk real racing. F1. That's right. I'm an F1 guy. I think I'm one of 3 people in America that actually likes F1. And I am 100% a Max Verstappen kind of guy. Something about him just perfect to me. And he's doing as good as he can this season. But I will say that even though he's my favorite driver, there's plenty of other drivers you just can't hate. And for drivers that I will always be fans of. In the case of F1, for me, it's just easier to find drivers I like rather than teams. So you'll hear me talking about a bunch of different drivers from a bunch of different teams. I'm fans of all of them, but I might not necessarily be fans of their team. So we'll start with Max Verstappen's team partner last year in Daniel Ricciardo. Just something hysterical about him. An amazing racer doing his best he can for Renault. And deserves more. Deserves to be back in one of the top 3 cars in the grid. But he's fine down there in Renault. Let him be fine. And because I mentioned Danny Ricciardo, I can't not mention my next favorite driver, Lando Norris, who, anytime they have a driver's press conference, Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo need to be sitting next to each other. Just trust me, look up, I think it was the British GP at Silverstone, the press conference where Lando and Daniel were on opposite sides. Son of a bitch. You can tell I hate that corner. That's like the 4th time out of 9 laps that I've hit that wall. Where they were sitting on opposite sides of damn it, number 44, Hamilton. I hate Hamilton, so forgetting his name is not something that's bad. And yeah, just something Ricciardo said over to Lando. Worth it. And recently, in one of the more recent ones, they were sitting directly next to each other, and Lando lost it for no reason, just because he was sitting next to Ricciardo. So yeah, and then well, I just spun out because I had a little bit of the grass. What a perfect time to talk about another team. Ferrari and their spin now. That was completely unintentional, the spinning. I mean, win now was their logo. It was just Vettel that did spin now. But, talking about Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, there's something about him. Amazing driver, amazing person, and he's got nowhere but up to go. Completely got robbed in Russia by his teammate, but whatever. That was a dick move. And then got screwed over in I'm sorry. He got robbed in Singapore by his partner, and then in Russia got screwed over by a safety car, and Hamilton took the win in Russia. But whatever. Now, I did briefly touch on Vettel there. I wasn't originally a fan of Vettel. There was just something about him. His attitude just came off like, I don't like this guy. I mean, you can't deny he's got he had skills. But that's something about he's just kind of losing it a little bit, I think. Wouldn't be surprised to see if next season is his last season in F1. I would not be surprised to see that at all. But that's completely up to him, completely up to Ferrari, whether they're going to do anything. And then the other driver that I will always love and always have a soft spot in my heart for is the Iceman, Kimi Räikkönen. Last year, Vettel's partner on Ferrari, teammate on Ferrari, and this year, not so much. And he hasn't had as much luck as he would have liked this season, He's been screwed over, he got torpedoed, and has had a couple of issues, but Kimmy is Kimmy, and there's no other way to say it. He is the Iceman for a reason. Doesn't react, doesn't... Yeah, Kimmy is Kimmy, and you gotta love Kimmy. And I didn't think I'd win by that much. Almost 9 seconds. I knew I was going to win. I just didn't realize it was going to be that big of a gap, especially with the Ferrari in there. Now, the problem with Gran Turismo Sport is that they don't let it sit here and let the opponents cross the finish line. If they don't cross the finish line within a couple of seconds, see, it resets. So, that's the downside of that. But... oh shit, I leveled up. Leveling up after you've hit level 45 is a big deal. It takes as long to get from level 45 to 50 as it does to get from level 1 to level 45. So, leveling up is a big deal in this game, especially when you're up as high as I am. And you're not playing as often as I used to. So, yeah, there we go. And I have no idea what my opponents did, because why? Yeah, there we go. So, that's that, and I think before I go, we're going to do one more race. Yeah, I think I got time for one more race. And, this one we're going to do... oh, wait, shit. Sorry about this. Ooh, a Honda S800. I think I already have one of those. Alright, I backed up too far, that's why we got there. So we're going into GT League. And... I think Beginner League has one. Yes. No, that's on the GT course. I swear there was a, oh. Let's go to the Group 4 Cup. And we'll do this at... you know, we'll do the 2 laps at Suzuka, because next week's race, next one's F1 race, is at Suzuka. And we'll do this... we'll do it in my F-Type. I'm not sure where my tuning is on this one. I don't think I can tune the F-Type Group 4. I'm doing it in this because it is a livery that I created, and like every livery I created, it is the Golf logo. The classic, just like the old Porsches, the old GT40s. It's got the traditional orange and blue of the Golf livery, which, in my opinion, is one of the 2 most iconic liveries in racing history. Yeah, I'm not even going to check what my stats are. I'm just going to go straight into it. Probably got shitty tires and everything on, but whatever. So here we go. Suzuka Motorsport. This is the same track that the F1 drivers will be on this coming Saturday night for here in America, Sunday afternoon for Japan Live. Oh wow, I was having some... definitely having some control issues. But look at me blowing past everyone, so I must have this thing tuned up pretty well. What I don't have is control so I don't lose my ass end around some of these tighter corners. And I guarantee I'm going to lose my ass end at least once through these S's. Hey, I didn't lose my ass through the S's. I also didn't lose my ass through those corners. I usually tend to... Actually, no, I don't. I usually understeer through there, not oversteer. Alright, just the GT and the Mustang in front of me. And there we go. No surprise. No surprises there. So, anyhow, back to F1. It was around a year ago that I finally got back into F1 racing for myself. I'd been a big fan of F1 and all sorts of racing when I was younger, and then life just happened in F1 and NASCAR, and I stopped watching racing for way too long. It was, for F1, it was the death of Ayrton Senna. For NASCAR, it was obviously the death of Dale Earnhardt, and just those two things within in '94 and 2001 just took my love out of racing for a long time. And it wasn't until about 2 years ago that I got back to watching any kinds of racing, and a little over a year ago that I got back into watching F1. And I'm glad I did. And that turned me, I eventually found out about IMSA, and that they had a race not far from me, and got tickets to it and went this year. And first time in my life, at age 39, I went to my first ever live race. And if it weren't for the fact that that was the weekend that it was about 110 degrees outside every day, and I was camping out at the racetrack, that was the only downside of the entire weekend, was the weather. The racing was awesome, the access IMSA gives you is awesome. If you've ever thought of going to a live race, even if you're not a racing fan, it's 100% worth it to go to an IMSA race. 100%. Because even if you don't know what's going on, or who the drivers are, what the cars are, the people there, the other fans will talk you through it. They'll talk to you. They'll explain things you don't understand. At IMSA races, even just a regular general admission ticket gives you full access to the pits. Obviously not hot pits when they're running the race, but like the paddock, you can go down, you can watch them working on the cars between training, between practice, after races. You're right there. You can be right there. And then every fan is invited down before every race to walk the grid. Like, the cars will be parked in their grid order. The drivers will be right there. You can talk to the drivers. The drivers are approachable. Oh, God, it was amazing. It was the most fun I've ever had in my life. So even non-racing fans can enjoy it. Even if you're just a car person, or not even a car person, just like... Yeah, you maybe have to be at least a car person, I'll be honest, but you don't have to be a racing fan to have a good day at an IMSA race. And I know I'm going to try to get to 2 races next season. No, damn it, cut the... I'll give myself a stop and go. There we go, stopped, go, 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 go. Don't forget the go part of the stop and go. Oh, that was almost painful. So yeah, I mean, it was an amazing trip, amazing fun. I had a blast doing it, and I can't wait to do it at least once again this year. And that was a horrible, horrible race for me right there. Alright, so yeah, I ended up BSing about racing and cars, and my cat is going crazy again. So that was the GameUhEr talks to himself. Needed some expert opinions there. Next week, I hope to be doing this with a guest, as well as the following week. After that, we'll see about getting more guests on. As I said, if you have an Xbox One, which we'd have to do on another channel, on my Twitch channel, because Xbox can't stream to YouTube, but I can get it over to my YouTube channel, no problem. If you've got an Xbox One or a PS4 and you wanted to come on and talk and shoot some shit about something, let me know what games you got, what games we can play together, and we will try and set up an episode. Until then, this is the GameUhEr signing off.